So in the discourse around LGBT, gay, lesbian, what you often hear is people saying, "I was born this way," and that's an argument that's come up many times. And in Christian circles, they would fight against that, saying, "Well, you weren't. Something happened to you in your life that caused you to be that way." And yeah, I believe there's a lot of truth for that, but then the lesbians and the gays will double back and say, no, we were born this way. Like, if we had a choice, we wouldn't want to be like this. I mean, some have said that. So the question is, what is the truth? So a lot of Christians would say that no, you weren't born this way. You decided to do that later in life, and I believe in most cases that is true. However, what I want to argue right now is that regardless of which of these positions is correct, the Bible still has an answer. So it actually doesn't matter which position is true. There's still a biblical answer to both. So let's say I'm just going to assume the opposite position. I'm going to take the side of the lesbians and the gays and say that, yes, you were born this way. Let's say hypothetically that is true, that you do believe you were born this way, and that is true. So I'm going to assume that for now, for the sake of the argument, that is your position, that is a factual statement. Then in that case, well, it's still a sin. And the truth is, everyone is born with certain predispositions to certain sins. If your parents were alcoholics, then it's possible that you will be born with an addiction to alcohol, or it's very likely it happens. Depending on how you're raised, that could also affect you. Your genetics plus how you're raised do make up a lot of your personality and how you are. And you're going to have weaknesses, you're going to have talents, you're going to have strengths, and yes, and it's not exactly fair, but everyone is different, and regardless, you still have to answer for your actions. And God understands your circumstances. God understands how you're born, your childhood. God understands all of that, and He does have compassion. And He's compassionate with everyone. So regardless of how you're born, or even if you have certain predispositions to certain sins, certain proclivities, certain addictions that you end up developing, God can still heal that. So even if you were born that way, that doesn't mean you can't get saved and God can't change you. Like it's not something that can't be changed. It can, and it has happened, and there's plenty of cases of homosexuals coming to Christ and changing. It's like it absolutely. So it doesn't really matter which of these positions is correct, which side you take. It's still something that can be changed. It's just going to be treated like any other sin. There's so many sins, it's a giant list of sins, and God treats them all the same. So just like any other sin, it's something that can be fixed under the blood of Jesus. So honestly, it really doesn't matter. The Bible still has an answer. God still has an answer for how to solve this problem. Well, see you next time.